Ladies and gentlemen, this is Oscar Mike here with another EU4 video. Today we're going to be playing as Novgorod on Ironman and very hard difficulty. Now I know what you're probably thinking to yourself, gosh Novgorod, we're really into the dregs now, aren't we? But no, I think that Novgorod is probably one of the most interesting, fun and challenging starts in the entire game, and I'm honestly so excited to get this done. Starting off, I don't really need to do a play-by-play here. The start is pretty standard. The only thing I'm going to mention is we're going to try and sell off as much of our fleet as possible to get as much money as possible, because we are going to need a lot of money. In keeping and being thematic with all our previous videos, we are going to be taking out, again, an enormous amount of loans, and we are going to make sure we have the guilds aspect activated, because that's going to reduce our construction costs. And military national focus, you know, the standard stuff, pretty familiar with my videos by now. Whether or not I want to select an advisor right now, I probably will, but not just yet. So what makes Novgorod so fun? Well, we're going to be immediately attacked by Muscovy, who are going to have a qualitative and numerical superiority in troops straight away, almost to an insurmountable level. And we are defending a, you know, sort of flat open terrain on a wide front. So how on earth are we going to defeat Muscovy in the opening? Well, it's pretty simple. We are going to build 2 fortifications in Arctic provinces, and we are going to try and trick down the Muscovites in a long, grueling war of attrition. Something that I haven't really done or touched upon yet in any of my previous videos. So it's a completely sort of novel strategy. It's a really fun one to play, actually. It's a very sort of grindy style of gameplay that, again, you're probably not used to seeing, but hopefully, if we can execute it correctly, we may be able to pull off a pretty big upset here. So yeah, just selling off as many ships as possible. You're not going to get much for these ships, but to be honest, any amount of money is going to be great. And again, we are going to have to be recruiting mercenaries in this guide, although we're not going to have access to many mercenaries, so we're not going to be able to be profligate with either our money or our manpower or our mercenaries. I mean, look, if you look at the top left, what's our reserve manpower starting off with after recruiting the Streltsky? We have 10,000 troops that we can call upon. That's it. We've got to somehow defeat Muscovy, who has unlimited manpower with an army of about 18,000 plus a 10,000 manpower pool. So yeah, this is going to be really difficult. And if you're wondering, how long do we have until Muscovy attacks us? Well, I'm going to tell you, we're not going to have long at all. Muscovy likes being super aggressive in this start and very hard difficulty. They really like, and yeah, okay, so if you take a look here, we're about maybe 3.5 minutes into this video, and the Muscovites already massing on our southern border, planning some sort of operation, some type of special operation of sorts. And that is causing me a great deal of concern, because we have not even recruited our first 2 cavalry units, and yeah, this is going to be pretty brutal. So we are boosting our relations with Ryazan, I think it is, and we want to see if we can get an alliance with them, although that's not going to help us much. Since it is in very hard difficulty, we're not going to be able to get any other alliances, so do bear that in mind. And we've got 2 castles that we're building. So you're probably wondering, why did I take out those many loans at the very start? We need those loans because we're putting down 2 castles in coastal tiles in Arctic provinces. So Arctic gives us a lot of attrition, reduced supply modifier. Coastal makes it difficult for the Muscovites to siege down our fortifications. And they're in the north. One of those provinces has salt as a good, which means it gives it extra defensive power. So those fortifications are going to be a very tall order for the cursed Muscovites to deal with. The only question is, can we survive long enough for us to get them down? Well, I mean, the Muscovites have massed on our border. We have... our 2 cavalry are going to come up soon. And I don't want to recruit mercenaries just yet to deter them. On second thought, probably drilling this army isn't the best idea, so let's just cancel that. Because, yeah, the Muscovites have moved, so we recruited a few additional troops, bolstered our balance of power with them a little bit, and that seems to have deterred them for now, but rest assured, they are going to be back indeed. So we've got 700 days left for fortifications, so we're just going to try and buy as much time as possible. I'm constantly looking at our advisors here. We put our national focus in military, and we've got a decent amount of trade going. I'm actually gonna, yeah, an edict. I forgot to do this at start. Protect trade edict in our high trade power provinces. That's gonna help boost us a lot of income. And already, yeah, we could get a trade efficiency advisor. I don't necessarily think it would pay for itself, so morale of armies is probably the best bet for us at this stage of the game. So yeah, we're coming up to 1 year in. We've got our army selected. Once the Muscovites attack us, which will be soon, we will recruit our mercenaries. But we don't want to do that just yet because we want to save as much money as possible. Ah yeah, I forgot to do this. Lower autonomy in all these provinces. I mean, why not? It's going to give us a bit of extra income. So yeah, this is not an easy start by any means. I may have lulled you into like a false sense of optimism. This is extremely difficult. There is no exploit or cheese way of doing this. We're just going to have to fight a lot of battles in sort of a very grinding war of attrition. So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be like, yeah, we're going to suffer a lot of losses here. It's going to be one of the most attritional videos we've ever done, actually, which makes it a little bit different. Now, Muscovites fabricating claims on us. We did expect us. Can we get an alliance with Ryazan yet? Not just yet. Yeah, the Muscovites are back. I told you they like to be super aggressive, and yeah, they are going to be a huge problem. So I think it's time to probably recruit our mercenaries now. We're not going to be able to deter them. Forget about it. No matter how many mercenaries we recruit, they're coming for us. So we just have to accept the fact that the war's about to start. We have 500 days left on our fortifications, so that's going to make things extra spicy. There we go. Alliance with Ryazan. Just in time, I think. If we had left it any later, attach our mercenaries to main army. Didn't get a particularly great general, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. We do need the mercenaries for 2 reasons. We need the extra troops, but we also need the general, because again, Novgorod doesn't really start with a good general from the very outset. And yeah, rival Muscovy. Must not forget to do that before the outbreak of hostilities. And we'll just select some other rivals, and don't forget to embargo all of them. Yeah, so things are looking right about as I expected. Issuing embargoes, getting our power projection up as high as possible. Yeah, that's it. It's war, okay? Ryazan did get called in, which is good. Sort of. We just recruited our mercenaries, so like I said, that didn't deter the Muscovites. The problem for us is pretty interesting, because if you look, we've still got 456 days in our fortifications, and our whole strategy revolves around getting those fortifications up and attritioning down the Muscovites and sort of trying to out-tech them a little bit, although that's going to be difficult, and we're not necessarily going to be able to consistently maintain a tech lead. In fact, I know for a fact we're not. So all defensive edicts, and we'll see if we can take out this army from Pskov straight away. I think we will. And we're going to have to do this a lot. We're going to have to fight a lot of battles in order to be able to pull this off. Yeah, it should be a pretty nice battle. So we do have the morale advisor. It's sort of a I'm sort of split between whether I prefer a morale advisor or a discipline advisor. I actually think the morale advisor is probably better, just because you have a higher chance of wiping out entire enemy armies, whereas discipline is more about inflicting heavier casualties, but not necessarily winning decisively. So I think for our purposes, morale advisor is probably the way to go. Now, luckily, the Muscovites have decided to attack us sort of, well, okay, go for this. Yeah, let's just go. Well, we can't take the morale of armies penalty. So, unluckily, I should say, the Muscovites are attacking us around about springtime, which means that the tail end of higher attrition in the Arctic provinces. But as soon as we get into like the May month, that attrition is going to drop pretty dramatically. So it would have been nice if they attacked us in winter, in the dead of winter, but that did not happen. So, you know, we can dream. So again, we've got our fortifications, 380 days left. We're just letting the Muscovites occupy our northern provinces. Main thing here is to try and win some nice early battles next to our capital and sort of link up with our allies here to the south, allow them to attach to our army. So we're going to take as many easy victories as we can, and we're just biding time, biding as much time as possible for us to tech up and for us to get those all-important castles. Yeah, good victory there. Denmark's just going to have a gauntlet. Hopefully we won't get Denmark or Denmark declaring war on us. It can happen. If it does happen, we're pretty much screwed. Depends when it happens, I guess. I'm just seeing this should be an easy victory here. Now the Muscovites have occupied one of our provinces. It is building a fortification. That's okay. We do expect that to happen. We're gonna be a bit more defensive with our other province with fortification under construction in White Karelia. So that is going to be important. We need to get at least one of these up. Otherwise, the war exhaustion we're going to suffer from many occupied provinces is going to be absolutely brutal. Yeah, so we're picking our engagements here. Not fighting the Muscovites just yet, just sort of taking out the allies, trying to cull their numbers a little bit. Now, Ryazan has chose to attempt to siege down Pskov. That is not going to go very well for them. I'd rather they attach to my army, because I know if they don't, they're just going to get caught by Muscovy and, yeah, just basically wiped out. There's not really much I can do about that. They have a mind of their own. They have the option to attach, but I just don't think they want to. They might now. That, right, folks, is a leaderless army that we would love to catch. So, can we catch them? Probably not. They brought down some more troops. You can see they have 3 armies roaming about. 2 with generals, 1 without general. If we could catch that army without the general, that would be really nice. So we will keep an eye out for that. Yeah, this is going to be a long slugfest of a war. We're really just into the opening phases now. Increase base production by 3. The money's not bad, I guess. Yeah, we'll do that. That sounds fine. So long as we can keep them from occupying it, that should be okay. And yeah, we're just trying to take out what little small armies we can. We don't want to... I mean, we are suffering attrition with such a large army, even in our own occupied provinces. So it's probably not worth going after 1 stacks based on the amount of attrition we're taking, but anything with like more than 1,000 troops, like here 3,000 troops, that should be an easy target for us, provided we can catch them. And actually, I don't think we're going to... No, we're not going to catch them. Too bad, would have been a nice pickup, but since the Muscovites are moving to the south, having occupied all the provinces in the north, we are just going to try and reoccupy that province in the north, our Arctic province, with a fortification under construction. something I should have probably been doing earlier, counter-espionage and building spy network, because after all, we're not just hoping to survive, we're actually hoping to defeat Muscovy, which means at some point, we're going to have to go on the offensive, but it's not going to be anytime soon. Yeah, so if we siege down that province, so if we occupy it, get the timer on that castle ticking down again, and try and get that fortification up as soon as possible. And you can pretty much see that, now you see, as predicted, Ryzen refused to attach to army, and now they're just going to get caught. Yeah, that's not looking too healthy for them. They are getting some good rolls, so hopefully they're able to inflict some casualties on them. But I'm not expecting a miracle here. And they are going to get reinforced, so they'll probably be able to retreat. They are able to retreat. They inflict decent casualties, but I do expect that army to be eventually caught and defeated. So very shortly we're going to be on our own here. Our allies aren't really giving us much support at all. And again, in very hard difficulty, good luck getting any reliable allies. Yeah. So they are heading for White Karelia, which is a pain because we're really depending on that province for that castle. That is going to be an issue. I'm going to tail them and be very cautious about what engagements I take. So they're moving their army south. And what I'm doing now is just making sure they get the... Yeah, that's a Ryzen army. So we did be able to pick up one army. I want to see if I can capture this leader of this army. So I'm constantly moving in and out of the province to try and get their movement locked. So that I can arrive at the opportune time to fight one of the armies and not the other. It's not going to happen. So they're going to move south. So now we just want to get in the province basically and defend it. Because we've got 50 days left in that castle. We want to make sure it has at least 1 month to take down. Otherwise, it'll have 0 garrison, and Muscovy would just occupy it immediately, and that would be the end of us. So yeah, we'll play it a bit safe here. Get our castle. It's coming up in 10 days. We can pick up one army because I doubt they have the time to occupy White Karelia before that castle gets at least 1 small garrison tick. Yeah, I have to be very careful. This is going to be difficult. I have to be very strategic about what I'm doing here. I can't afford to make any mistakes here. So I'm just spending a lot of time concentrating. We do get 1 army defeated. Whether we can catch this, I think... Yes, we can. Yep, that's good. Okay, 2,000 troops. And we do get our castle up with a garrison. That will tie down that small army. And I have to go south now because they're sieging down Luki, which is... It's got breach fortifications at 14%. So, yeah, I have to move down south quickly. We can't have that... we can't have them taking that province, no way. We need to keep up all our fortifications for now. We can't afford to lose them later, but right now we're going to have to take this battle. Unfortunately, with 14% chance, they don't siege it down, and that is going to be very good for us. Yep, there's a stack wipe, pretty good one actually. So now they're sieging down Novgorod with our 14%. Obviously, if they take Novgorod, that will be completely disastrous. We are going to be able to reinforce in time without them having a go at that 14%, so we're going to take that engagement. This should, again, go pretty well for us. It is. We got, again, a pretty decent leader, getting pretty decent rolls, so... That's a stack wipe, actually. That's... Okay, so things are going pretty okay. But if you think that we're ahead now, you're definitely wrong. They have an insane amount of manpower. They have so many troops. Exhausting their manpower is pretty much impossible. They're going to have just a constant stream of reinforcements. So yeah, we're a long ways off being able to complete this. So we have an opportunity here to retake White Karelia, and if we do that, we want to reoccupy our province with our fortification in the north. And I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that province. These Russian names, they're a bit confusing to me. Okay, election. Unfortunate passing of a faction leader. That's not unfortunate at all. That allows us to get a faction leader with 4 military monarch power. That's going to give us a quicker run to military tech level 4. So that is actually going to be pretty nice for us. That's going to... yeah. So there are allies. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are very much alone now. We are alone. We are not going to have any more allies. It's just going to be us and Muscovy and their sort of swarm of vassals rampaging around our lands. It's looking pretty dicey in the south. But we have one thing going for us. It is winter now. And they are going to be taking a lot of attritional losses. And we have one fortification up, and we have a second fortification up, going to be coming up in 133 days. And we are slowly getting to military tech level 4. Slowly but surely. Yeah, so just using our maneuver to take what battles we can. The Muscovites have very bravely put a 14,000 man army in White Karelia, and we are going to take that engagement for sure. That should be an easy pickup for us. We're going to get good terrain. They're leaderless, so we're just going to use our mercenary general. So we're going to pick off as many favorable engagements as possible while avoiding the main enemy force. Now that is a pretty nice pickup for us. You can see they lost about 500 troops to attrition, and then we destroyed the rest of our army in engagement. And they are going to beeline straight for our northern provinces again. So we're going to be a bit more aggressive here because we really want that castle up now, as soon as possible, preferably, because we are taking a lot of war exhaustion with all these occupied provinces. So should be able to win this one pretty nicely. We do have a pretty good, yeah, another stack wipe, 13,000 troops destroyed. So you can see we're slowly thinning out the enemy numbers, and we do have infantry power on our general, which is a really good trait for us to have, because we are going to be relying predominantly on infantry for this sort of playthrough here. Now they are coming close to sieging down Luki again. It's at -7% now. I just noticed we're already down to 0 in manpower. So yeah, even though it appears we've been doing pretty well. I should have been fabricating claims, by the way, in Muscovy way earlier. That was a big mistake. I mean, they've suffered 112,000 losses, but they will be able to sustain a lot more losses than that. So, although it appears things are going pretty nice, we haven't even crossed sort of a main threshold here. The main threshold, the most important thing we're going to have to do now is see if we can defeat these armies in the south and stop them from sieging down Luki and Novgorod. If we can do that, we sort of cross the first and least challenging threshold, but we're nowhere near on being able to do this successfully. Yeah, and they got another walls breached in Novgorod, so that means that's just one more battle we're gonna have to take. Okay. Again, these battles appear to be going really well for us, but they have so much manpower. It's like it's not, it's positive, but I know this, we've still got the main challenge sort of ahead of us. So they're taking a huge amount of attrition. It is another leader's army. They're not going to be able to reinforce. We take the battle. We get pretty decent rolling. Yeah, another 11,000 Russian troops defeated. Okay, so things are going rather swimmingly at the moment. We're just going to continue moving around with our main army and taking what battles we can, inflicting as many casualties on the Russians as possible. And they're back down to sieging a fortification in the north. Look at the attrition they're taking, though. See the reason why I put these castles in those Arctic provinces? Arctic provinces that are coastal, I mean, they're hard to siege down, and you take a lot of losses sieging them down. So, if you're thinking to yourself, are those the optimal places to select to create fortifications? I would say yes. I can't think of better places to put down fortifications. Those are the optimal positions. Just in case you're wondering if there's, if like this is optimal, yeah, I think it is. I think those are the places to go because they also cover the max amount of our provinces, so that if we keep that fortification up, it can automatically reoccupy. How many is it? 4 provinces? No. 8 provinces, I think. So yeah, going to pick up some more small battles here in Olonets. Just slowly wearing down the Muscovite masses. And unfortunately, once again, they breached our fortifications. Very annoying. This is either the 3rd or 4th time they've done this, so we're going to have to take another battle here. And our manpower is at 0. They do have they have their good leader in this army, so I guess. Well, we can't recruit independent Cossack hosts because it's not in the correct province, so. I'm thinking we're going to have to take 2 costly battles here. See how this goes. Hopefully they're not. Oh, okay, we have to withdraw. Yeah. Okay, so that's our first screw up. Our first of what will be many mistakes. Now, this is a good thing and a bad thing. We lost the battle, obviously never positive. We lost an enormous amount of manpower, but we did reset the siege progress on that province. And they had breached our fortifications, so we buy ourselves a little time. We wanted to recruit these mercenaries anyway, so I mean, I think overall that worked out round about okay for us. I mean, it would have been nice if we had defeated that army and then the Muscovites would have reinforced and we would have had the good terrain penalties on the enemy, but that obviously didn't happen, so there's going to be plenty of wishful thinking in my commentary, but yeah. But I'll still take it. If we had lost that fortification, if they'd been able to occupy it, that would have been catastrophic for us. So yeah, worked out okay-ish. See if I can remember to select boys in the officers' corps. That's a really good decision for us, but I have a feeling here I'm gonna forget. And we've got a second mercenary army. Since we've already lost basically all our manpower, we're down to the dregs of our main army. From here on out, we're going to be more or less relying upon mercenaries. The Muscovites have no such problem. They have practically infinite manpower. So this is what I mean by just this being an attritional grind. They have so many more troops than we do, so many more in reserve. It's like, I mean, we're pretty much never going to be able to win a manpower victory. The strategy here is just trying to trick them down, buying us enough time for us to sustain a military tech advantage. And we do have a military tech advantage now. We got to military tech level 4. So we can be a little more aggressive. But as you can see, when we have a good leader, we don't even take that favorable engagements against the Muscovites. I mean, what, we had 2-to-1 casualties there? We're going to have to do a lot better than that if we're going to be able to pull this off. So that wasn't necessarily a good engagement for us. Let's see. Well, we're at 100 Republican traditions, so... And we would like to tech up to military tech level 5, so yeah, that seems fine. So yeah, things are going okay at the moment. See if we can take another couple engagements here in the north, just trying to gain the most of our military tech advantage. See how this battle goes now. Getting pretty decent rolls, and we stack weapon. Okay, yeah, that is not good engagement. And this is another large group of Russian troops who should be able to defeat Renaissance. Okay, so another victory. Can't really complain about that. I think we've only lost one battle so far. We've lost 30,000 troops. The Muscovites have lost a staggering 176,000 troops. But I'm telling you, they have basically infinite manpower. If this was a normal difficulty, yeah, they'd pretty much be out for the count by now. But because it's on very hard, yeah, they're going to have a lot more troops. So we do win this battle, but we suffer pretty heavy casualties. Since we have the military tech advantage right now... this is a pointless decision. Well, I don't really want the hit to prestige, so I guess we'll fight these peasants. Hopefully we don't lose too much manpower if we occupy the province. We'll lose a couple hundred here. Whatever. So I think possibly, yeah, these rebels are going to be a huge problem. We'll have to reduce the war exhaustion a little bit. Probably won't stop the rebels. And hindsight, wasn't necessarily a great idea, reducing the autonomy in those provinces. Probably actually could do without that, but it's what's done is done, so... I'm thinking potentially we can make a move on Moscow or Moskva. I have to be careful though. I don't want to get too overconfident because we're only down to about we're down to what, 16,000 troops here, and I know they have a lot more than us. And I know we're going to lose a lot of troops to attrition, trying to siege down these provinces. So it's like a cost-benefit analysis. I honestly can't remember which of these is the best. I don't want to spend too much time in this. I completely forgot. It's been a while since I've done a Novgorod playthrough. I think political dynasties is a way to go, but I'm not 100% sure, so we'll leave that for now, have another look at it later. So this is a high-risk move. It's going to take a long time to siege down these 2 fortifications. They are military tech level 3. We're going to be wasting our military tech level advantage as we're doing this. So now we would ideally be like to fight as many battles as possible to sort of cascade that military tech level advantage. We're going to lose a huge amount to attrition. We don't have that many troops there, but if we can get these 2 provinces sieged down now, it would obviously be great for us. It would allow us to pull off a quicker victory. The only thing I'm concerned about is what's going to be happening here is we're going to be racing the Russians to see who can siege down the... Right, okay. Okay, so, yeah, they instantly breach our fortifications. And we get a disease outbreak as our modifier, so this is going to be pretty crappy. Yeah. That sucks. I think we're going to have to abandon this. Because, I mean, if they breach down our fortification, it's not going to take us long for them to siege down that fortification again. We get disease outbreak modifier for our first turn. Yeah, that's pretty crappy. So yeah, let's marshal up our troops, try and fight some battles in the north here. If we hadn't got unlucky, we would have stayed the course. Bearing in mind, we have military tech level 4. We want to make most of that. And it is winter, so we don't want to take too many attritional casualties yet. So you have to be really careful you don't get overly aggressive here. I know from experience, having done this in the past, that aggression can kill you quite easily here. So it is going to be a pretty brutal battle up here. They have 17,000 troops. And we have 17,500. I mean, they have superior troop quality to us. But if we get some good rolls, we should be okay. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, sorry guys. Unfortunately, Novgorod start. This is just going to be one of our longer videos. See how the rolling is here. Rolling's pretty crappy. Pretty terrible, actually. Yeah, pretty much worst case scenario here. And that's basically our entire army dead. We win. We suffer significantly more casualties than the enemy. And that's basically all our regular troops defeated. And we are now running low on mercenary manpower. So, if you remember me telling you that this was going to get significantly more difficult as we progress, I wasn't kidding. It is a very difficult start. We are down to very few troops, and things, to be honest, aren't looking very good for us. And we got more rebels coming soon, so that's great. So I would say, at this point, the enemy is probably actually favoured to win this. Despite how good the start of this playthrough went, we are now probably working from behind here. I mean, we have absolutely no manpower. And we're going to suffer a lot of attrition when we do eventually move on Moscow. So, yeah, things are not going particularly well. Okay, we'll try sieging down this fortification again. We don't have many troops, and I know that the cursed Muscovites will try and fight this battle. I'm hoping what they're going to do is head north and try and sort of go after that fortification we have in the Arctic Circle again. While I'm waiting, having another look at these ideas. I'm pretty sure that's the best one, but I can't be 100% sure, and it's not really going to make it a big difficulty. So I'm thinking we'll just forget about that for now. We'll do that after we win, so to speak. So yes, the Muscovites are heading north once again to our Arctic Circle fortification. They're going to attempt to siege that down. So long as they don't breach our fortifications for like the 6th time in a row, we should win the siege here. And then we can leave this province, defend our fortifications, and then head for Moscow. And if all that works out well, provided the RNG gods don't completely screw us over, we may still be able to win this. We've got really good siege defense. Yeah, things are looking okay. We're going to win this siege for sure. The question is, would we win the siege for Moscow? Probably not. So I think once we got the siege down, we're going to have to head back north. and defend these fortifications. And you can see, again, those putting those castles are in Arctic Circle provinces, which means during winter they take 5% patrician per month, and we've got our siege down. So that's pretty sweet. We're going to move to Moskva. Do we win this? Do we get Moskva down before they get our fortifications down? I'm not sure. Probably in... they're getting pretty high rolls here. And we're getting pretty low rolls. It's going to be interesting to see. I think we do win this. 5% attrition. So they got 12. It's looking pretty dicey. I think we have to bail here. We've got one more mercenary company to recruit, and then that's it. And we're going to need to recruit them. So the question is, do we even get there in time to the north? Okay. Your army movement is locked due to a hostile fortification. Okay, so now I am confused. Have we just made a terrible mistake here? Here's the question. We moved our army into Moskva fine. Now it is stuck in this fortification province, and we have no option. Okay, so let me explain what I think just happened, and then I will explain why what has happened is potentially absolutely catastrophic for us, and we may have just lost right there. We moved our army into Mazask, I think it is. I can't even pronounce that. We sieged it down, fine. Then we moved into Moskva. We attempted to leave Moskva and go back to our territory, but our army got stuck by a hostile fortification. Now you can clearly see the only hostile fortification is Moskva, but we were able to move into that, and we have the other province sieged down. So why is our army being blocked? Why the hell is that happening? I think I know. We recruited a mercenary army next to Moskva, and now the game engine thinks because we recruited a mercenary army next to Moskva that was in the same tile that our army moved to, it thinks that we started in that territory, so it's not giving us an exit route out of Moskva. Do you see how I think that works? But I mean, we are stuck here, so we've absolutely no choice but to siege down Moskva now, which is something I didn't want to do because I wanted to defend our fortifications in the Arctic Circle. So that sucks, but we're just going to have to deal with it. Yeah, that is a pretty big screw up. So I could have recruited those mercenaries in my own territory. I chose not to, and now I've been punished. But, you know, that's yeah, they siege down that province. That is gonna suck, and we're getting rebels all over the place. So I would now say we are... what would I say? Yeah, but you know what? In a way, I'm glad, because it makes this more difficult. There's Moskva siege now. It makes this more difficult, and sometimes it's fun to make catastrophic mistakes whilst I'm recording these videos, because it shows that, you know, I am not by any means... I mean, I don't know everything about this game at all, and I haven't played it for a long time, so... But yeah, that is a pretty big mistake, so don't make that mistake, folks. All I had to do was recruit those mercenaries in Novgorod. I think I've got that right. I'm still pissed off about why that happened, but I don't think it should have happened. If you move a main army into Moskva, having siege down another... Well, you know, no point crying over spilt milk. Let's just get on with this. And I refuse to accept increased mercenary costs in my army. I had to do that with my Byzantine video I did recently. I'm not doing it again because I know the economic cost it imposes on us. So, yeah, we are probably decisively behind now. I'm just rotating my army because I want the Moskva garrison to White Karelia is at 28%. Now, we have had some reasonable fortune here. It looks like those wretched rebels are moving into White Karelia. So they are actually going to do me a big favor here. Remember how I was saying how having rebels spawn in your provinces when you're at war isn't necessarily a bad thing, because you can oftentimes game it so that they actually defeat the invading armies? Well, that's what they're doing here. And actually, since White Karelia was down to 28% siege, they've slowed the siege progress. They may have just saved those rebels, those particular rebels, I think they are, may have just saved this entire run through. Because they inflicted a lot. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty freaking awesome. So they inflicted enough casualties in that sieging army such that they're no longer getting siege progress. We're going to be able to move into White Karelia, defeat that army, and save one of our all-important fortifications. Yeah, we stack wiped that army. So this is proving to be a pretty chaotic, Novgorod game. A lot more chaotic than I was intending. Very messy. But I just think due to what just happened there, we may still have a chance. And we've bought enough time, perhaps, to get to military tech level 5. So yeah, we've got everything to play for here. We're going to take this battle, try and re-siege down this fortification. We're moving down. We left 2 merchant ships. 2 merchant ships who weren't able to sail. Just protecting trade, and we're going to move those down to blockade the province and hopefully get this province siege down really quick. We can do that. We're going to head back to Moscow and see if we can take a decisive battle and close this one out. Yeah, this is going to take a long time. So we do have the province blockaded. They are trying to siege down Moscow, as we predicted. And provided we win, there's sort of a siege race going on here. I'm just going to see if actually... And we get a disease outbreak. Lovely. So basically, here's what I think. If they siege down Moscow before we siege down our Arctic Circle fortification, I think we lose. I think we're done, which is going to be very awkward. Hopefully that won't happen. Another election? Didn't we just have an election? No, I guess it's 1453. Okay, well, we'll keep that faction leader. Very close to military tech level 5. That's good. But I'm honestly thinking if we lose this siege race, I'm pretty sure we're done. This video is proving to be a lot closer than I was hoping. But I guess it makes it more entertaining for you, the viewers, so I don't know. It was going so well for us, but again, getting that army stuck was just stupid. Okay, well, we at minus 28% and they are at minus 7%. Yeah, this could be potentially disastrous for us. Well, we're getting military tech level 5. That's pretty sweet, so we can get our higher quality troops. I think things are pretty desperate right now. We're going to have to go for the Hail Mary. So that's pretty timely. So we get the +5 discipline. We got a decision there to give us enough power to get our 5 discipline from the Orthodox Church mechanic. That's going to boost our army a lot. So we got one army sieging down Arctic Circle fortification and another one heading south. And inexplicably, Muscovy has stopped sieging down one of the 2 fortifications, which is pretty nice. I guess taking the threat of my army here pretty seriously. Okay, well, just goes to show the AI still makes stupid decisions too. I mean, that was completely absurd. All they had to do was keep that army in that province, and yeah, they probably would have had that fortification siege down there. But I will take every mistake the AI makes. So that's bought us a little bit of time. It really is a race here. I think we win the race pretty decisively, but even still, we're going to have to take a pretty big battle here, which could go either way, so... 20,000 troops. That is going to be difficult. Yes, okay. Got a siege down. Perfect timing. What can we do here? We need to get as much power for our army as possible. Marshal up all our troops. Below in mercenary manpower, we're down to 283 manpower. Consolidate as many regiments as we can. I mean, you guys know by now the financial situation is absolutely cataclysmic. The cost, I don't even want to know how many loans we're taking out. I don't think we're going to go bankrupt. We'll take this battle, and then I think it all comes down to one final decisive engagement in Moscow. I mean, we do have the military tech level advantage, but as you can see, they have a better military leader, and they have, what? 35,000 troops versus our 25,000. This battle could be the death of me. If we lose this battle, by the way, it's over. So if you're wondering why I'm hesitating, yeah, if we lose this, it's done. We're finished. However many minutes wasted, so... but I think we have to take it. See if we can... We'll do... Anytime you're in a situation like that, just use your superior maneuver to try and get the AI to get confused and maybe retreat with this 10,000 man stack. Maybe? No. He's not going anywhere. Okay. What do we do? What would you do? We got a conundrum here. I'm not sure we can win this battle. But we do now have a 5% discipline advisor. Now I think we can win it. We got plus 10 discipline from an Orthodox tradition and military advisor. So I think we go for it. The Muscovites are not going to reinforce. So we are going to win this battle. We are getting pretty crappy rolls. Yeah. So we win the battle. I think we may have just done it. 41% war score. Well, we've won the war. I mean, we could peace out now, but I'm telling you, if you peace out now, there are going to be 2 problems. We need to get as much war score as possible and have as long a truce time as possible to be able to recover from this, because Muscovy has no problem recovering. So I think what we do now is we split our army up into 2 stacks and try and occupy every Muscovite province we can and just ignore attempting to siege down the enemy and try and boost our war score by taking maybe some small battles, but no more large battles. And I think if we do that, we'll accumulate enough war score to possibly close this one out. I don't really know how many more Muscovite troops are left. So splitting my army in 2 is going to be high risk. But I think maybe if we can blitz them down now, we can possibly close this one out. Well, I said from the start this one was going to be exciting. That's the issue. Don't really care about these decisions now. I'm just basically tunnel visioning down. We have 41% war score. Why is the war score actually so low? We have their capital and... I'm a bit confused here. Surely we should have more than 41% war score. What am I missing here? 41% war score. We won basically every battle. It's not going to be enough. If just occupying these provinces, that's not going to... We really want about 70% war score. That'll give us the provinces we want, the war reparations we want. War attacker control. Ah, of course. Velsk. Yes, they still have a war goal. Okay. Okay, I got confused there. Sorry about that. Yep. So they have 25%, 25 war score from occupying Velsk. Once we flip that, that's going to push a war score significantly on our favor. I don't know why I didn't think of that. For some reason, I thought that their war objective would be Novgorod for some weird reason, but I don't actually think they have a core in Novgorod. So yeah, once we siege this down, we should be fine. We're not going to take any more battles. We're just going to try and occupy as many Muscovite provinces as possible, as quick as possible. 69% war score. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. They still have... Look how many troops they still have. They still have like 25,000 troops. Way more than what we can muster. And they're not going to be far off military tech level 5. So I think what we do here is we just try and occupy as many provinces as possible and peace out as soon as possible. I don't think we want to wait too much longer. That should get us what we need. We want our cores, we want our provinces, our culture provinces, we want as much money as possible, and we want war reparations. Because in very hard difficulty, with the boost to tax and production the AI gets, war reparations is going to be able to repay this gargantuan amount of loans we've taken out. So I think we have pulled this one off. I'm just focused now on getting us in a position where we are strong enough such that the Muscovites don't come back after the truce timer and finish us off, so to speak, because that can definitely happen. It doesn't take them long to recover from war. It takes us, by contrast, it takes us a very long time. Yeah, so we absolutely don't want to take any more battles here. That should give us the war score we need. I'm being a bit greedy here, but I want to leave this. I want to leave this in as strongest position as possible. Lose 10 war exhaustion and lose 10 republic position. Don't mind if I do, but I will take that nicely. I've never seen that decision before, so that's pretty good. I think we peace out now, folks. We'll call a diplomat. Yeah. So, one are core provinces, of course. We want as much money as possible, and we want war reparations. Humiliate. We can pillage their capital. Probably not worth it. I just want to take my time with this one because, again, if we're not in a good position at the end of this war, I know Muscovite will come back and just finish us off. So it would be nice to take our culture provinces. That looks pretty good. There it is, folks. It was pretty touch and go for a while there, but we have done it. We have managed to win as Novgorod and very hard difficulty. I said this was going to be, oh my god, 30 loans. Yeah, okay, well, yeah. We will avoid bankruptcy, but yeah. What's the interest at 4.73? Yeah, we should be able to pay that off with war reparations. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Oscar Mike. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was incredibly chaotic and messy, but it was fun to make. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.